1 in 4 interview applicants are not negotiating their salary because they don't know how. A better income could be available to you with just a little negotiation savvy. Welcome back to our Job Interview Masterclass series with top tips from me, Anna, a professional career writer here at Resume.io. We'll also hear from Silicone Valley career coach, Dr. Kyle Elliott, for his expert advice. Let's get started. So how can you prepare yourself for a conversation about compensation expectations? Timing is really everything when you're discussing compensation. Your first interview should be focused on your qualifications and learning more about the job. Focus on making a good first impression and having a productive conversation with the hiring manager. If you're asked back for a second interview, that's generally considered the best time to bring up compensation. Before asking about pay, you should come prepared. Think about these questions. What are standard salaries for someone at your level in your field? How does the company you're applying to align with other competitors in the industry? Is the company known for competitive benefits packages compared with the competitors? Tools like Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and industry recruiter surveys are great places to start when researching compensation expectations. Your current salary might also be a good starting point for negotiations, but don't give away your current compensation details if you're in a role where you feel you're being underpaid. That's because companies are unlikely to give more than a 20% pay increase from your current salary. It's also important to use the right language. Compensation range or budgeted range for the role are more professional sounding than pay or money. Let's look at an example. I'm really interested in what I've heard about the role so far. I'd love to make sure we're aligned when it comes to a rough idea of compensation. My research showed that the average base compensation for roles like this in Miami is between $40,000 and $60,000. Does that range align with the budget you've set aside for the position? If you're in demand, get that salary info early on. You need to prioritize your time if you have multiple recruiters and employers interested in you. In this case, you can bring up the topic on the first interview. I love what I've heard about the position so far. The sales strategy aspects are definitely in line with my previous 2 roles and how I want to continue developing professionally. Could you tell me some more about the compensation range for the role? Salary negotiation can feel sensitive. For you, it might seem connected to your self-worth. But the hiring manager could have their hands tied by company policy or budget. At the end of the day, unless this is a volunteer position, you need to talk about money. Let's check in with Dr. Kyle Elliott for his advice on how to approach this delicate subject. Kyle, what advice do you give your clients when it comes to negotiating their salaries?
When negotiating salary, especially in Silicon Valley and with tech companies, you need to understand the entire package. There's not just the base salary, but there's equity, RSUs, healthcare benefits, the bonus. All of these things can result in a very complex package. So when you're negotiating that salary, you need to look at all of that and ask the recruiter, the hiring manager, whoever you're negotiating with, to walk you through what that entire package looks like and not just be talking about the base salary, because you won't be getting a complete understanding of what that total compensation package looks like. And some of that language can be as simple as, can you walk me through the total compensation package that you have budgeted for this role? Also, when you go into that, if they ask for what you need for that role, you can tell them a range that you have, because it shows that you're more flexible and you're not stuck on one single number.
That's great advice. Thanks, Kyle. So in a nutshell, timing is key when discussing compensation expectations. Discussing compensation during the second interview is customary. Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and the job description are powerful tools for your compensation research. Usually, you can expect a maximum increase of 20% from your previous position. Be open to an honest discussion with the hiring manager and consider the wider benefits package too. If you are preparing for an upcoming interview, don't forget to check out the other episodes in our Interview Masterclass series. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our best advice for job seekers. See you soon!